Welcome to a new episode of Mostly Engineering, and let's talk about Rotary Tools. Welcome to this episode, and today I want to talk about the humble rotary tool. And this one is very dear to my heart because it's the first electrical tool I could call my own. And if you're on the market for one and you go to the websites of Proxxon or Dremel, these are the two brands that are readily available here in Germany. And you will find that both companies make quite a variety of these, and they all look more or less the same. So the big question is, where are the difference and how do that differences affect your handling of the tool, your workflow? So what I'm going to do in this video is not the classical review, but I take the ones I have in my toolkit and the ones we have in the workshop. We take a look at them and see where the differences lie and how these affect your workflow. So, with no further ado, let's go over to my desk and take a look at the different models. So, and here we have our rotary tools. So we have the Proxxon 60E, the 230E, and we have a Dremel 8200. And the first thing you might want to consider is how these things are powered. And on paper, the battery version is usually the most attractive one, and this is the one we use in the workshop, and I'm not gonna lie. Being able to just take it to wherever I need and not being tethered to a socket or need to find a free socket first is really nice and convenient. But this convenience comes at a cost. And because we have to fit the battery in here, these things are a lot thicker and a lot heavier than the cabled versions. And what you want to do a lot of the time with them, these kind of tools, you want to have really nice fine control over what your tool is doing. So you want to kind of hold it like a pen. And with these battery powered ones, you can hold it like a pen, but because you have so much mass over here, you can't really nicely control what your bit is doing. And with the cabled ones, you don't have this problem, and the 12-volt system is slightly bit better because it's smaller, it's lighter, and you have really nice fine control over what your bit is doing over here. But the 12-volt system, being 12 volt, doesn't have a normal plug, so you have to plug this into the transformer and this into the wall, whereas the mains powered one, I just plug it in and I'm ready to go. What is much more convenient, especially as I have to put the tools away after use every single time. If you have it stationary on a desk, that's probably plug it in once and you're good to go. Another advantage on the 12-volt system is that instead of using this trafo, you can build one or get one that you can regulate down even further, because the lowest setting here is 5000 RPM. And for some applications, if you think about building plastic models, sanding at 5000 RPM is not really sanding, it's melting the plastic by friction. So having the option to regulate it down even further is really nice, and you don't really have this option with the mains power or the battery power. Another thing that is really convenient on these two ones is they have a dedicated on and off switch and a dedicated RPM selector, whereas this one has it combined into one switch, meaning every time you want to switch this thing off, you lose your RPM setting, and if you fine tune it to somewhere in the middle, that becomes annoying really quickly. And the last thing you might want to consider is that all these things you see here have a collar chuck. Collar chucks run more true than a normal drill chuck, and for me that's not a problem because I usually use a cutoff disc, sanding disc, or when I use drills, I use PCB drills, so my shaft diameter doesn't change all that often. But if you use a lot of drilling and you use the drills that have the same shaft diameter as the drill diameter, you need to change your collets constantly. And sometimes you have a drill diameter somewhere in between, so this one is already too tight, while this one is a little bit too loose. So in this instance, you might want to get the versions that had a normal drill chuck instead of the collet chuck. And yeah, that's already it for this video. I hope you found it useful. If you have questions, comments, as always, let them down below, and I try to answer them as quickly and correctly as possible. And all I have to say now is thanks for watching, and see you at the next time. Bye bye.